Po, paano pag-iibayuhin ng mga election watchdogs at mga advocacy group ang malawakang pagbabantay laban sa pagliparan ng vote buying o vote selling at ibang uri ng electoral fraud? So ngayon, pag-usapan po natin, ano nga ba ang integridad ng ating mga automated counting machines? Sila po ba ay maaasahan? May mga dayan po bang pwedeng maganap? May massive vote buying pa ba at paano natin ito haharapin? Together with me today, kasama po natin ang former chairman ng COMELEC, framer 1987 Philippines Constitution and founder po, honorary chairman ng Legal Network for Truthful Elections o LENTE. Kasama po natin si Chairman Christian Monsod. Magandang umaga po. And of course, joining us is the convener for United People's Initiative Election Reform Advocate, former congressman ng Biliran, former senatorial candidate, Attorney Glenn Cho. Abangan niyo po yung pasabog niya mamaya. And of course, to my right, kasama ko po ang Executive Director ng LENTE, Attorney Ona Caritos. Napakabatang at mamukha lang. Nagbata. Consultant ng COMELEC office also. And joining us also is Dr. Arwin Serrano, National Coordinator ng Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting or PPCRV. So, hindi na ako magtatagal. Umpisa ko na po. Attorney, umpisa ko na sa iyo. Ano ang mga technical problems na nakikita mo sa darating na halalan at saan nanggagaling ang inyong observation?
Sir, my observations have always been based on evidence. In fact, sa karami-rami ng taong nag-criticize sa COMELEC, they never sued me. I should point that out. Smartmatic and COMELEC, si Smartmatic, kahit sinong magdi-defame sa kanila, kinakasuhan nila. But I have never been sued in 15 years that I have fought for clean and honest elections. Kasi ang pinagbabasihan ko naman dito are really certified true copies ng audit log, ng print log. So, kaya kong patunayan yon. And these evidence are all sanctioned by the rules of court in the Philippines. So, mula pa noong 2010, 2013, 2016, 2019. And we can go there later, but Smartmatic and Miro are basically the same machines. Walang pinagkaiba yan, pangalan lang.
Walang pinagkaiba.
Walang pinagkaiba yan, sir.
Chairman, in your decades of experience in all the elections, seeing all the past histories of our election, ano pong nakikita niyong pwede maging posibilidad na problema natin ngayon sa darating na election?
Well, first of all, you have to review the process. There are two aspects: the quality of the process and the quality of the vote. The quality of the process, the software, the procedure, and so on and so forth, should be looked into, and whether there are systems to check the returns. And one of them is the random manual audit. The second one is, I am told that in a certain number of precincts, they will show in the TV screen the vote of the person.
Yes.
So you can take pictures of that and to see whether in that precinct it matched the automated return on the election return. In the case of random manual audit, well, I understand that this is going to take place only in 80 precincts. Is that correct? How many? 710. Okay. So they'll do this not in 80 precincts only, but in 700 precincts. Like the random manual audit, which was what, 745?
730.
3 per congressional district.
In the last elections. Now, LENTE is involved in the random manual audit, and they certified that 99.6% of the count was correct. So we'll see what the process is now. Now, on the quality of the vote, that's more difficult, because the quality of the vote is influenced by the use of money, mostly government money even, and also the use of force. I understand some time ago when we were looking at this, that there are about 2 million unlicensed firearms in this country.
Yes.
Now, and of course, you have the warlords in certain places where it's totally controlled. The process is totally controlled. So the quality of the vote is influenced by money, it's influenced by wardrobeism, it's now influenced by political dynasties. And so those two aspects, we have to look into quality of the process, quality of the vote.
Thank you, Commissioner. Dr. Arwin, ano pong nakikita niyo pwedeng maging challenge or complication o posibleng maging technical problem sa darating nating eleksyon?
As compared to sa previous nating mga elections, baka mas konti kung magkaroon man ng aberya yung ating mga makina kasi mga bago ito. At saka unang gamit ito sa darating na Lunes as compared to sa mga previous natin na kung ginamit na ito ng pangalawa o pangatlong beses, may mga possibility nga na magkakaroon ng aberya doon sa mga ilang presinto. Kung patungkol naman doon sa mga mabilisang pag-responde, mas maganda-ganda yung ating sitwasyon ngayon as compared doon sa dati dahil sa 110,000 yung ating mga ACMs as compared to more than 94,000 clustered precincts nationwide. So, sa dami ng matitirang bilang nun, nilagyan na ng mga spare or contingent na makina ang mga iba't ibang lugar at mas mabilis yung responde just in case na magkaroon man ng mga aberya yung mga makina natin. And then, meron tayo originally na 110 technical hubs. Nadagdagan pa siya ngayon. Nakatanggap ako kay Chairman Garcia ng additional list ng mga technical hubs. Natagulat nga ako kasi kahit kami doon sa Makati ay meron na kaming sariling technical hub. At magkaganon man, mas mabilis na rin yung responde ngayon. Bukod dyan, yung ating tinatawag na technical support staff na nandoon sa opisina ng DESO or ng principal ay mas marami na ngayon yung ratio as compared to sa nakaraang eleksyon. So kaya doon din sa aspeto na yon, mas mabilis na rin yung mga pag-responde kung magkaroon man ng mga maliliit na mga technical issues sa loob ng mga presinto. Kung kailangan na talagang palitan yung mga makina, mas maano na rin, mas experienceado na rin yung mga nakatalagang mga kawani doon sa ating National Technical Support Center or NTSC. So nakikita ko na mukhang mas magiging maayos yung ating kumpara doon sa mga nakaraang mga halalan.
Thank you, Dr. Arwin. Attorney Ola, I just have one quick question. Hearing all these things, are you satisfied with the explanation and assurance of Comelec Chair Garcia? Are you satisfied with that, or do you foresee any safeguard failures in terms of the Comelec system?
Well, so far, satisfied naman tayo kasi thank you, Pastor Randy, for that question. Kasi like we always said in previous interviews, ito na siguro po yung next to Chairman Monson's Comelec administration. Ito po siguro yung pinaka-open and engaging na Comelec that we've worked with for the past 5 elections. So in terms of preparation, we are confident, but in the sense that we're still preparing for whatever eventuality would happen on one day. And katulad nga po na nabanggit ni Attorney Glenn at ni Attorney Christian Monson, it's basically the same system. Bago lang makina, bago provider. So wala naman po problema. What we're always worried about is the quality of the vote. We're so fixated on the machines. We don't look at ano ba yung boto ng mga Pilipino ngayon. It's affected by vote buying, abuse of state resources, not too many choices on the ballots, where our elections is basically run by political dynasties. The lack of electoral competitiveness is increasing every election cycle. So I echo the sentiment of Attorney Christian Esponson na we also need to look at the quality of the vote. Yung botong pumapasok po dun sa mga makina.
Pero attorney, as far as the quality of the vote, that depends on the voters' education. Tama ba? That happened during the campaigning time. Kaya malaking role ng mga pamilya, mga tatay, nanay sa pag-educate sa mga anak nila. Diba? Pero ang tanong natin ngayon dito, sa darating na eleksyon, yung role ng mga watchdogs. No? So we now have the manual and we now have the automated ones. Anong posibleng maging role ng ating mga watchdogs na tinalaga natin, katulad ng Lente, PPCRB, anong pwede natin gawin to ensure that we can help out this thing?
Yes. Ganun din, pati rin yung aming kalidad ng aming mga volunteers training, mas pinalakas namin, mas pinecting namin. Kasi ako rin yung kasalukuyan na namamahala ng training ng aming mga volunteers. So, mas inayos ko yung mga natin, yung mga presentation materials natin para sa ganun, mabilis ito ika-cascade sa mga aming mga local coordinators. Ganon din yung aming mga paghahanda na ginawa, kahit na naka-apekto rin sa amin ng bahagya yung late yung ating pong Lenten season, lalo na yung Holy Week. Naka-apekto yan ng bahagya doon sa aming preparasyon kasi ang tutok na naming mga karamihan ng aming mga volunteers ay doon sa mga activities sa kanilang mga simbahan. Pero magkaganon man, unti-unti na namin nakukuha yung desired number at maganda nga rin na ang Namprel, ang Lente ay nagiging rin namin, kapalikat namin sa pagdadagdag din at paglalakas din ng kanilang mga watchers sa bawat voting centers, even sa mga cluster precincts.
Attorney, yes, sir. Go ahead, Chairman.
Do you have volunteers in all the precincts?
Maybe not 100% po, Chairman, but kaya nga nasabi ko nga, tutuwa rin kami na meron din mga dagdag na mga volunteers sa ating mga kasama sa mga election monitoring groups. Pero I would say po, Chairman, na mga 90% covered po namin.
Okay, well, that's about what was covered in the 1986.
Share with us the last election.
I said, no, that's sorry. I think the one issue is, should we automate or not?
Should we automate or not?
Yes, because in 1992, which was the first synchronized elections in our country, we did it manually. That's the first issue. Now, the second issue is people talk about education, election education. That's wrong. What we should be teaching is civic education. Because now, for example, we're telling the voters, don't vote for dynasties, correct?
Yes.
But, you know, in many countries, and particularly in Japan, from grade 1, they are taught, number 1, love of country. In the Philippines, all the surveys, what's number 1? Family or God? Right? Now, love of country includes one of the two. So I've always advocated, forget about election education. That's just, how do you vote, how do you put it here and there. Talk about civic education.
Wow.
Primarily love of country.
Well, that makes a lot of sense, di ba? Go ahead, Attorney.
Yes, sir. I have another idea, sir, about how we should fight vote buying. Because it's just as old as Magellan. Ang nasa isip ko, sir, is out of the box. Ang based on experience kasi, tinatakot ng politiko ang botante kapag tumanggap ng pera.
Tinatakot ng politiko ang botante pag tumanggap ng pera.
Kakasuhan kita pag hindi ka bumoto sa akin.
May
Tumanggap
ganyan
ka ng
threat
pera
na
ko.
yun.
Oh, ganyan yan eh. Tumanggap ka ng pera ko pag hindi ka bumoto sa akin. Kaya nga open ballot eh. Tinitingnan ng kanilang mga pantay doon sa presinto kung siya talaga ang binoto kasi tumanggap ng pera.
At hindi na biro-biro yung amount, ha? May alam ako,
it's
7.5,
very, very expensive.
4.5.
Yes. I've always said that whenever I give a talk, na sobrang mahal ng bili sa inyo, sobrang laki yung babawiin din sa atin, 3 times over.
Wow.
So, ang nasa isip ko, why don't we decriminalize vote buying?
Decriminalize.
Decriminalize, mawala yung takot sa kanila. Tanggapin mo,
How do you decriminalize?
hindi mo na mapapailan sila ng election offense. So, kasi yun ang tinatakot sa kanila eh. Pag hindi ka bumoto sa akin, babalikan kita, papakasuhan kita ng election offense. So, pag dinicriminalize mo, wala nang takot ang botante. So, pag wala nang takot ang botante, tanggap kami ng tanggap without any assurance na buboto ang botante sa'yo. So, sino politiko magbabayad?
Ang nakakapagtaka kasi, alam nila tumatanggap sila, pero willing pa rin sila pumirma. Pero hindi pa rin nila iboboto.
Merong ganon. But in rural areas, mas matindi yung hold ng politiko doon.
So, ang sinasabi ni Chairman, if I'm not mistaken, di ba? The quality of our votes depends on the way we educate them on the
Yes, that's
civic
correct.
level.
Well, that's correct. But
Sa'yo
how do we
naman,
solve it now?
How do you solve it now?
Because vote buying is a function of the economy. Yung buhay nila mahirap. Ang nasa isip nila, eto mga politiko to, magnanakaw naman to eh. Eh di at yun, tanggapin natin. They're more practical eh.
Pag may na-witness po ba kayong vote buying, hinuhuli niyo na po ba agad?
Well, sa COMELEC resolution sa Committee on Contrabigay, may mga warrantless arrest. May provision warrantless arrest kapag may nakita nagpo-commit ng vote buying, vote selling. So may ganun namang provision. Pero dagdagan ko lang, vote buying is a bigger problem. It's a symptom of a bigger problem. It's a problem which goes beyond elections. It's a problem of bad governance. It's a problem of that people don't feel that the government is working for them.
Yes, correct.
Pero ano lang din, I would contradict your proposal ni Attorney Glenn kasi
I'm just placing the whole thing.
pero so, out of the box idea because vote buying has been a big problem in the election. Pero siguro siya, let's go after the offenders, the vote buyers, and not go after yung mga tao talaga, the victims. Siguro din muna yung priority because if you decriminalize vote buying, sir, parang may pinakamaraming pera na lang ang pwedeng tumakbo sa election.
Kaya nga eh. Dito maglagay ka ng board sa munisipyo. Candidate A, 3,500. Candidate B, 2,500. So alam mo na kung sino magnanakaw na number 1 dyan.
May maganda akong tanong eh. In the news, marami nang nireklamo ng vote buying, pero hindi pa rin sila nakakasuhan. Saan po ba ang problema doon? Kasi may show cause order mo nang hinihingi. Imbis na actual na nakita na may patunay na imbis na kasuhan, may show cause order muna. Paano mo ba dapat proseso?
That is a good development on the part of the COMELEC. Kasi ito yung una election, Pastor Randy, nakita natin si COMELEC na napaka-proactive, issuing more than 200 show cause orders for vote buying of these state resources. So it's a good first step in the fight against vote buying of these state resources. Kasi for the longest time, ang pagtingin ng mga tao, immune eh. There's lack of accountability when you commit vote buying of these state resources. So now, the candidates and their supporters, they're more, baka mahuli ako, or mag-trending ako kasi the situation right now is if you trended in the different online platforms, malamang sa malamang the following day, you will be issued a show cause order by the Commission on Elections. So this is a good first step in the fight against vote buying, but what we always said to COMELEC is, yung show cause order should be followed up with actual cases. Because at the end of the day, if nakita lang ng mga tao at mga kandidato na puro show cause order lang yan, they will be more emboldened by the next election. They will be more emboldened by the next, ganyan lang naman yan show cause lang pero wala pa yan. So, that's our challenge to COMELEC, and we will support them in the cases that they will file against these election violators.
Chairman, you want to add something?
Kung may madalang tayo.
I'd like to talk about what's the wrong thing. How do we change these mentalities that we are talking about? So that first of all, of course, as I said, civic education is more important than education. Number two, I'm legal counsel for 5 farmer groups in this country. I asked them, bakit kayo bumuboto doon sa mga nasa theater, sa movies, at saka yung
Mga artista.
Sabi nila kasi mga bagong pangalan, na yung mga pangalan na alam namin na at saka yung partido since EDSA. Hindi na masyadong importante sa amin because they failed to fulfill the promise of EDSA. Now let me ask you, what was the promise of EDSA?
Reforms.
What?
Reforms.
Like what?
Anong babaguhin?
Baguhin natin, in the case of the farmers, agrarian reform. True, agrarian reform.
You.
Sa akin po, yung mga dapat na mga democratic reforms at saka yung mga dapat na mga amendments ng batas. Alam niyo ba na yung ating Omnibus Election Code ay December 1985 pa na sa batas? Pero hindi na siya tumutugon doon sa isang automated election na ginagawa na natin since 2010.
So naging irrelevant na siya?
Marami na talaga dapat paguhin na provisions doon.
Okay.
You.
Ako, siyempre, mga takbuhan ng mga korupsyon at political dynasty, babaguhin.
Ako sir, yung progress for the masses po, for the farmers, the peasants, the bishop po.
The promise of EDSA, number one, the restoration of democracy.
Yan ang unang promise, restoration of democracy.
That's one. What's the second one? Radical social change. Has that happened in our country?
Radical social change.
Yes. What is that? Addressing not only poverty, but addressing inequalities. That's why if you read Article 13, yung Section 1, ang dami doon na social, economic, and political inequalities. And then one phrase, to me that's the whole social justice. Equitably diffusing wealth and political power for the common good. We haven't done that. So sabi ng mga sa amin, well, buhat po nung administration ng ngayon, no administration
Has solved that
has
problem.
delivered the promise of radical social change. Now, people say, revolution, no. Even the poor say, na kami naman, ayaw namin ng kulita, ayaw namin yung discretionary yung government na walang end, di ba? Yung mga ganon. Ang gusto namin to do it like we did at EDSA in 1986 by democratic means. Ang taas ng ano nila, di ba? Ng history. Tama sila. So now, what do they say? Ano yung ngayon? Well, you know, so, may pera, at least my family will have food for 1 month or something like that, or even that. And then sabi nila, theater na yan entertainment na sa amin yung election. So we have to go to the poor and tell them, you are afraid of money and power. But you know, sovereignty resides in the people, and all government authority emanates from the people. Now guess, who has the sovereignty of numbers in our country? Sabi nila, bitiman nila, well, yung poverty ko, 18%. Sabi ko, no, look at the Philippine Statistical Authority. So it's really a government figure. What is the level of decent living in the Philippines? What? 58%.
Ang decent
Do not have decent living.
Do not have decent living.
So in other words, what we have to tell, well, all right, you don't like a revolutionary government, correct, Duterte withdrew it. When he proposed it, the military said that's outside the four corners of the Constitution. But do you know that you have the sovereignty of numbers, 58%?
Only if they come together.
Yeah, forget your intramurals, right? You go and we have to work with the church. The church has to be a part of this. Because the church was a part of our 4 months in 1986 to organize 500,000 volunteers in 4 months in order to...
Ilan bang volunteers na yan?
I was chairman of NAMPRED, so I know, right? And the bishops helped us. So what I'm saying is we have to inculcate in the Quran. hindi revolutionary, hindi provisional government and so on. If not by revolution, by evolution.
Chair,
That
nabanggit niya
you first take control of the barangay. 3 years later, you take control of the municipalities. 3 years later, you take control of the provincials. Use your numbers until we have a new generation of leaders who come from the poor.
Then nabanggit niya, Chairman, na evolution, generation. How is the generation today will consider what you're proposing in terms of education? Do the generation today care?
That's part of civic education. We have to separate. Remember, so you mga government officials, we're the principals. The government officials are only our agents. It's not the other way around. And those in the anti-dynasty, it's the other way around. Sila ang principal at yung mga tao are the agents. Mali. That's not the Constitution. And you have the sovereignty of numbers. Use it.
So we can address the vote buying. Now I have a tougher question. Can we address the actual cheating?
Diba yun? That's the process.
Kasi kanina qualitative ba ng quality of voting eh.
Yeah.
Ngayon naman, pag-usapan natin ng process. Correct me if I'm wrong, no? The way I understand it, last time I voted, I shaded. Right, I shaded. I put in the machine. After that, the receipt came out. And then when I got the receipt, I was asked, "Sir, tama po ba binoto nyo?" And I checked. I go, 100% tama. Tama? Now, after me receiving my receipt, I go home with the confidence na my vote was actually counted, validated, and counted through. Where could the problem lie? Is there any problem? Kasi may nagsuggest, baka pwedeng i-offline na lang po natin yung transmission. Actual na lang ang kunin dun sa machine. Kasi nagkakadayaan sa transmission. How true is that, Attorney?
In 2010, in the province of Biliran, we documented one PCOS machine, cluster precinct namin 780500.
You documented?
Yeah. It's the audit log of the machine compared with the print log of the server in the Municipal Board of Canvassers.
Okay.
Because they transmit. So you need those two documents.
Yes.
And these two documents are certified true copies signed by the election officer.
Yeah. So lumabas na, Chairman, yung picture ng binoto ko, pwede ko na i-screenshot din yun. So meron ako nun.
Who chose the precinct that you reviewed?
We actually got, sir, we have 166 core PCOS machines in Biliran at the time.
How did you choose that one?
We got all 145 and we checked everything. As to the municipal servers, we got 100%, 8 of them.
Anong year to?
2010. That's when I ran for the election.
Okay.
So, in that precinct, 7805002, the machine was shut down at 8:39 in the evening. And prior to the shutting down, may nakalagay doon. There was a series of attempts to transmit, all failure. Then may summary, failed to transmit to 3 server, 0 successful transmission to 3 servers. Then it was shut down. 2 hours and 44 minutes later, at 11:23:23 on the same evening, an electronic transmission was received in the municipality, in the Municipal Board of Canvassers from 78050002.
How can that happen?
And that's my question. Where did that transmission come from? Galing saan yung transmission na yun? Sabi ng makina, I failed to transmit to 3 servers, including the MBOC. And then I was shut down at 8:39 in the evening.
That was 2010. And maybe we will ask them then, has that problem been solved?
Has that problem been solved? Yes.
PPCRB. Alright. Okay. Has that problem been solved?
Yeah. Pero kaya rin mo lang, Jerry, makasali rin ako sa mga unang mga hindi mo ako natanong.
Sige po, sige po.
Bago ko sagutin yung kay...
Go ahead, Dr. Arvin.
Okay. Alam nyo, meron din talaga kaming election education, Chairman. Kasama po yan sa volunteers training namin. Malakas kami dyan. Pero mas malakas po kami doon sa tinatawag na voters empowerment or values education. Noong araw pa, mula noong 1992 election, nung sumibol yung PPCRB in October 1991, hanggang ngayon, yan po yung pinagmamalaki namin. Na napakalakas po yung aming pong values and voters education. Hanggang ngayon, yan yung binibigyan namin ng pansin. Yan din yung tumutugon din doon sa ginawa ng COMELEC na kontrabigay 2.0. At lingid sa kaalaman ng lahat, marami rin doon sa mga nagreklamo sa kontrabigay committee and even doon sa mga kontrabastos na resolutions ng COMELEC. Mga ano po namin yan eh. Mga volunteers po namin na PPCRB yung ilan dyan. Kaya nga po, maganda na nagsasample na tayo ngayon para pagdating sa 2028, matatakot na siguro o magiging detailed na ito doon sa mga ilang mga tiwali at mga talagang hindi tamang mga kandidato. Ngayon dito naman sa punto nito, ang ginagawa kasi noong mga unang natin, automated election, meron tayong contingency doon sa general instructions na kapag nagkaroon ng failure, halimbawa doon sa tatlong servers pa lang tayo noon. Central server, transparency server, at saka local canvassing center server. Kasi ngayon iba na eh. Mas dumami na eh. Pagka nag-failure man doon sa isa o doon sa lahat ng tatlo yun, ang ginagawa doon ay ina-upload yung SD card at dinadala doon sa local canvassing center. Kaya yun din siguro ang maaring kadahilanan bakit na doon sa particular na report na yon, sa transmission report na yon, nag-fail doon sa electronic transmission mula doon sa clustered receipt papunta doon sa mga dapat na patunguhan ng tatlong servers. Ito ay dinadala doon sa canvassing center at doon na siya actual na kinukuha yung datos.
Ina-upload.
Yes. Using the CCS, yung consolidation and canvassing.
So it's no longer a transmission, it's an uploading na.
Yes, kung talagang worst come to worst at dumating na yan sa punto na yon, na talagang sa iba't ibang kadahilanan, matutuwa nga nun eh, kasi yan yung mga panahon na dinadala pa sa malapit sa bintana, malapit sa pintuan, nilalabas na nga sa labas ng voting center, para lang talagang matransmit. Kaya lang,
signal-based kasi.
Yeah, pero hindi ko alam kung ano mga kaibahan, mga kadahilanan, pero nababanggit sa akin, Doc, baka may mga jammers doon, baka kaya
which is possible.
Which is possible also, I don't know.
Sa Bilibid nga may jammer.
Yes.
May I ask you,
Opo.
those are 2022 elections, what is your finding?
With
With respect to the criticism of Dr. What's his name?
Harry.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, so
Anong finding ninyo doon?
yes. Una-una po, generally yun, nakasama ko po yan sa COMELEC Advisory Council. Siya po
What's your finding?
Opo, siya po yung umaakto na chairman kasi nga napakasipag niya noon as USEC ng AICC. And then,
Just tell us what your
yes,
finding.
oo. Ang aking pong nakikita kasi dyan, yung mga transmission logs na nakapaloob sa isang IP address, sinasabi rin naman ng mga nasa industry na hindi lang siya allowed, hindi lang siya legal, at ganun talaga ang ginagawa sa mga IP address na nag-host ng maraming transmission log, even tens of thousands of
So there was no
transmission logs.
cheating?
There's no cheating in the sense na wala po ako talaga personally na nakita.
Well, no, I'm talking about PPCRB.
PPCRB, ganun din. Hindi naman kami naglabas ng manifesto or ng declaration na nagkaroon ng
So you had no
cheating.
comment?
Yes.
Okay.
Opo.
Okay, that I want to listen to.
Sige po, Tariana.
Dahil yun naman po sa akin, sa RMA naman, it's yung random manual count versus the machine count. And nakita rin po namin in the randomly selected polling stations, statistically, naman po yan representative.
Yes.
Wala rin po kami nakitang mali dun sa pagbibilang ng makina dun sa versus the manual count.
Wala kayong nakitang pagkakamali sa manual at saka sa automated count.
Kasi that's basically what we do in RMA. We manually count the ballots. The teachers randomly count the ballots. And the manual count is compared with the machine count.
So binabalidate ng PPCRB na walang silang na-witness sa cheating, kayo naman binavalidate nyo na actual ang counting, accurate ang counting.
No, I'm fine with it. No comment.
Oh, no
No
comment.
cheating.
Yeah.
No comment.
Okay.
No comment and also no cheating na kami na nakita talagang direktamente. Yung based sa mga kanilang mga allegations at kanilang
Just one more
statements.
question. In your talk about civic education by the PCRB,
Yes.
does that goes on in between elections or only in election period?
Hindi po. Immediately after po ng eleksyon, nagsasagawa na rin kami ng mga
No, during the 3 years.
Yeah, yun nga. Immediately after the
Because my
election.
farmers never heard you.
Ha?
My farmers never heard you on civic education. In
Maaari po
elections.
hindi yan nagagawa nationwide.
Hindi sila
100%.
Okay.
Maaari hindi napapalitaan, pero pipilitin namin na mapalitaan yan between 2025 and 2028.
Okay.
Sir, going to your question in 2022, I used to work with the Marcoses, the two. Lisa Marcos. I used to work from 2016 to 2022, specifically in the election protest against the Vice President, si Leni Robredo. In March 2022, during the middle of the campaign period for the presidential elections, I had a personal meeting with Lisa Marcos. I was scheduled to meet her in her office at the headquarters. So when I went inside, the first person to come in was DICT Secretary Ivan Uy
At that time.
at the time, and then Senior Deputy Executive Secretary Hubert Guevara. Pero hindi pa sila mga appointed at the time.
Yeah.
Plus, I was seated here. Lisa was seated here in front of Hubert, si Ivan here, I seated there. Ako lang dapat yun. Itong dalawa na kay Marites.
Okay.
And Lisa, ito sinabi ni Lisa exactly, guys, I have a meeting with the owners of Smartmatic. I need 2 technical guys with me. Then she pointed her finger at me and said, but not you because they hate you so much. Sir, I executed a 15-page affidavit on this matter
Why do they hate you so much?
because I have been their enemy since 2010.
So what did you find out?
I checked with the Bureau of Immigration who arrived around that time.
And who are
And the one who arrived is Jose Alejandro Piñate Martinez, the president of Smartmatic. He was here around that time na nag-meeting. Umalis April, bumalik around middle of April until election day. Umalis, then bumalik around October. I got the record from the Bureau of Immigration. Kaya, kampante ako dun sa ginawa kong affidavit. And sir, the affidavit has been publicized for 20 months.
What's your point?
My point is, that meeting is immoral at the very least. Because Lisa Marcos, ang husband niya at ang anak niya were all candidates. And hindi naman nakipag-meeting ang may-ari ng Smartmatic kay Leni Robredo at that time or other presidential candidates.
At bakit nakipag-meeting ang Smartmatic sa kanya?
That's circumstances. Tell us the facts. Or whether it was what kind of cheating was that?
Sir, what I'm giving you is the antecedent circumstance. Ang evidence, sila generally yung nakakuha. Pero that single IP address, 192.168.0.0.2, is the IP address of the Q server. Because that is also the same IP address, not exactly the same, but the same IP address, 127.0.0.1 in 2010. And I can show you the evidence now.
You have the evidence?
Yes. Okay.
Pakita natin. Ito po.
Please show it.
Exclusive lang po. Papakita po sa atin ni Attorney Chok kung ano ang ebidensyang tinutuloy niya na nagkadayaan.
Can you see, sir? Because you are my primary audience now. Can you see this one, sir? Okay.
Alright, go ahead. Present to us, Attorney.
Okay, this is cluster precinct number 7805002. It failed to transmit. Sige, please press.
Attorney, sorry to interrupt. This is during the 2010 election, no? 2010. Ilangin lang natin na 2010.
Anomaly number 1. Okay, sir. Please press. So it failed to transmit. I'll show you the document later. At 8:39 in the evening, please press. the Picos was shut down at 8:39 in the evening. Express. And then, 2 hours and 44 minutes later, there was a recorded electronic successful transmission at 11:23:23 in the evening using this IP address. The question is, sino nagpadala ng resulta dito? Dito sa laptop sa munisipyo na wala namang Picos at that time.
At sino nakakalam ng IP address na yan?
Sila lang. Then, let's go to the Dispress. Ito na yung evidence ng Dispress. These are 3 audit logs. The one in the middle is the subject audit log. And mind you, this is certified true copy. Election officer yan, ng munisipyo na yan. Audit log, this is the record of the machine of precinct number 78050002. Later, may enlarge yan. So, itong middle ha. Next slide. Please press. Ito yun. Ito yung record of unsuccessful electronic transmission. Unsuccessful yan. Dire-diretso yan. Next slide. Ito pa. In other words, the machine was attempting to transmit and transmit and transmit.
Multiple times.
Multiple times.
Which machine?
Itong 78050002.
That particular machine.
Yes, that particular. Itong nasa middle. Kasi tatlo to para makasave ng paper.
The precinct level.
Ito yung sa precinct level, sir. Record yan sa presinto. Next slide. Hanggang ito. I'll show it later. Finished zero successful transmission to 3 servers. Ito yung record na to. Meron yan mamaya.
Alright.
And then it was shut down. Ito yung record ng shutdown, sir.
Okay.
Then, sige, next slide. Ito yung record sa munisipyo. Kaakibat nito.
Validating.
Yes, validating.
Okay.
By the way, itong log, you read it from top to bottom. Ito, baligtad. You read it from bottom to top. Parang pinahirapan talaga tayong mag-audit. Next slide, please. Ito yun. Ang successful transmission at 11:23:23.
Documented, validated.
Yes.
Okay.
And ito yung gusto kong ipakita sa inyo, sir. Yung uniform na IP address, mamaya may enlarge. So, next slide. Ayan. Audit log 78050002. Precinct number 78050002. Kinat ko na yan, may enlarge. Next slide. Finish transmitting results. Zero successful transmission for 3 servers.
Yes, okay.
Walang na-transmit. Next slide. Ito, sir.
7:50.
7:50:38 in the evening. 7:50 before siya na-shut down.
1 minute interval. 7:51, 7:52. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. And this is transaction 440.
Yes.
Kasi number 10 eh. Tapos, in transaction 457, sinat-down na siya. 20:39:01.
Oh,
so, sinat-down na.
An hour
Okay.
later.
Oh, next slide. Ayan. 78050002. 78050002. O, ito. Pinasis na niya yung resulta. Next slide. Ito. Received a Picos connection attempt from, ito yung IP address. Ito yan.
Correction.
Sir.
Correction. You said correction. That one, that thing.
This one?
Yeah. What does it say?
Kinumpir ko, sir. Kasi ang sinabi ng makina, failed to transmit. Bakit ba na-receive na Picos connection attempt for this precinct? Ito yung 78050002.
So you're saying, just to clarify our understanding,
Yes.
na the machine said it failed,
Yes.
but the transmittal said it received.
Yes. 2 hours and 44 minutes later, after na shutdown.
So where does the cheating happen?
This one is in the transmission.
In the transmission
Yes.
itself.
Because, tapos ito yun. Hindi kasi malinaw ito dito eh.
Yun nga eh.
Ito yung IP address ito kasi yung IP address, but sir, I can give you a
Yes,
copy.
yes.
I can give you a copy.
Continue.
127.0.0.1. Ito yun. Alam niyo, sir, isang file yan na pinadala. Isang file. Ito yung bytes. Mga 15,000 bytes lang yan. Maliit lang to.
Oh.
Tapos, ito na yung sinabi ko, sinapchap ng makina. Ang isang results file, sinapchap niya into different, ito, president, vice president, senators, congressman, governor, vice governor. So, sinapchap. But, they did not come from the same IP address. Itong IP address mahaba, oh. Ito maliit.
So, ang pinapoint mo, yung tinanggap nila ay hindi galing sa official IP address na dapat nagpapadala.
Dapat itong IP address dapat. Ito, 127.0.0.1. Sir?
Go ahead.
Eh, makita mo naman, ito yung IP address mahaba.
Iba yung IP address
IP
na
address
ipadala.
maliit na, 127.0.0.1.
So yung official IP address, hindi tinanggap.
Hindi tinanggap.
Ang tinanggap, ibang IP address.
Galing sa ibang IP
At
address.
yun yung na-record.
Yes, and that's
Yun yung
what's
sinasabi
recorded
mo.
here. Yes.
Okay. Next.
Next slide.
So the
Sir. Yes, sir.
sent directly to media and so on. President.
This precinct is supposed to send it directly.
Yes.
Ang problem is wala siyang na-send.
It was sent to another.
Yes.
Yeah.
To another server.
That's the one.
Yes, this one, 127.0.1.
Where is that?
Hindi na-
Did they reply on whether
Hindi natin alam sir kung saan ito galing.
these elections, pero pati may club room where
Either they call it meet me room.
yes.
The meet me room. Yeah, this one's the meet me room. Ito yung,
That's the same. That's the same.
yes, it's the Q server, the meet me room, or whatever they call
The
it.
results were different.
So,
Hindi natin makita, sir.
can I just illustrate lang, illustration ko lang, no?
Sir, yung na-publish, did it match this?
No.
Yung na-publish.
Yung
Ano na-publish?
na resulta, na mga binoto.
No, we got the results here. Natuma siya.
Yeah, let's just talk about the presidency. The votes.
Ay, sir, hindi ko tinignan yung president at tinignan ko yung aking congressman.
Not 2010.
Yes.
No, until usapan natin 2022.
Ay, hindi mo na sir. 2010 to, sir.
Was this is the big thing.
Yes, it's the same thing in the
Teka muna.
The reason, sir, why I raised this one, to prove na nangyari yung 2020
Ay,
president sa 2010.
attorney, ganito lang kasimple pagkakaintindi ko sa sinabi mong proof ng cheating. Ako yung official na na device. Ako dapat nagpapadala.
Ikaw dapat nagpadala.
Tapos nag-fail ako. Ilang beses. So, sure, sa record ko, wala akong successful transmittal. Biglang, ikaw, na-meet me, nakatanggap ka ng successful transmittal,
Yes.
pero hindi galing sa akin.
Hindi galing sa'yo.
Galing na kay Dr. Alvin.
Yes, yun.
Tama ba? Nadamay ka ba?
Basically, yun.
Ano ba yung sabi mo?
Basically, yun.
Okay.
And that's exactly what we are asking.
So,
And then,
has the family addressed this already? That's the
since
question.
2010, wala.
The meet me is recognized as an intermediate.
Intermediary server.
Yes, the meeting is the intermediary.
Yes, sir.
Ito nangyari convergence.
2010, did it match? Did it match the final count with the precinct count?
Yung sa congressman, sir, yes, but not the president kasi hindi ko siya,
No, because,
hindi ko siya tiningnan.
You're talking about presidential in
As a 2022, sir, meron din yung
2006.
intermediary server.
2010.
10, yes. So, in 2022, the intermediary server is 192.168.0.0.2.
Yeah.
In 2010, it's 127.0.0.1.
Oh, nagbago na.
Oh, ibang-iba, pero
Every year,
it's the
every
same
other-
for all results.
Yes.
But did it match the final count with the precinct?
Yes, sir, kasi alayan, ano sa election return eh.
So where is the fraud?
That the fraud is in the generation of the election return. When you press the count the votes and generate electronic machine language file,
So share with us the Biliran issue recently.
I'm going to share you the smoking gun.
What is smoking gun?
Yung 2019.
Also to match the precinct.
Where's the cheating?
2019.
Where's the fraud?
Sir, based on what happened in Butuan, di ba, yung test ballot number 9, pinasok ng watcher. Tumugma doon sa kanyang balota ang voter receipt. However, when they check the election result, specifically for ballot number 9, iba ang lumabas.
This was what
Ngayon.
happened? When did this happen?
The other day.
The other day, when?
Let me talk about 2010
Final
and
testing.
2022.
Yes, sir.
Did the final count match the precinct count in that particular precinct?
As far as the congressman is concerned, yes.
Yes. Okay. So no cheating.
You cannot say that.
No, you just told me it's the same vote.
It's the same nga, sir. But ang question is, using the experience we have in 2022 now, ang daya nandun sa election return, then it will always match.
So let me clarify this lang para pareho tayo ng grounds. Ang point ni Chairman is very simple. The result of the precinct and the actual result was the same. So there is no fraud.
The result in the machine is the same as in the
Precinct. In the
server,
transmitted.
in the Municipal Board of Canvassers.
So pareho.
And finally,
Yes, sir.
it is the same. When you count the votes at national, it fits. If you look
Because there's only one source. The machine at the precinct level is the
I
source.
get you. Let me help you. So, ang ganda ng point ni Chairman na if the result of the received transmission is the same as the result as the precinct, published result, there's no cheating, there's no fraud because it's the same. However, on your end, you're saying that in between there was a certain change of transmission. And that's where the cheating happened.
Yes, this
no,
one.
nothing. If the final result is the same as the precinct, there was nothing that was changed. There was no fraud.
But the question, sir, is who transmitted that set?
Doesn't matter. Is it the same?
As far as the congressman is concerned, yes, but not the others because I didn't check. I was only concerned
Ang
with
argument mo lang, attorney, just to clarify my understanding, is that instead of the official sender of the transmission is me, someone else transmitted.
Yes.
Yun ang punto mo.
Someone else sent it.
And then you also relate this to a very, very heavy testimony that there was a meeting of the minds between the owner of Smartmatic.
That is 2022. This is
This is 2010. So,
Oh.
kaya nililik mo na if that happened in 2010, 2022 is really how siya dating. Definitely, itong darating na election, malabo din.
Aside from that, ang 2019 is the smoking gun. And that's what I want to show you.
Sige, you have 5 more minutes.
Sige, you show the 2019.
I'll ask you 2010 and 2022.
Yes, sir.
In those two elections, kasi we were aware of the Meet Me Room in 2010. And you said that there was another instrument that transmitted it. But finally, the published returns match the in your case.
Interrupt ko lang po kayo sa nila.
Sa congressman.
2000 in your case.
Yes, congressman lang yun.
There was no cheating.
As far as I'm concerned, I can only say about the congressman.
Okay.
Because I didn't check that.
Presidency. But I have good news for you. Together with us from NAMFREL will be joining us, Ma'am Cora Maricor. Ma'am Maricor, please kindly join us here to represent NAMFREL for this. May dahilan po bang naganap at pwedeng maganap sa darating na eleksyon? Yan po ang tanong.
Let's talk first. Was there cheating in 2010 and 2020? That's all.
Alright.
Sir, I can offer you definite evidence in the 2019 elections. Because ito, binuksan talaga to. Binuksan talaga yung balota, binilang. Aside from i-compare natin. And this is...
Now you're talking about 2019.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Tapos na tayo 2020.
Tapos ay 22, Chair. Nasa 2019 naman tayo.
You assess the whole thing. Okay, sir.
He's just sharing with us where he's coming from to definitively prove the cheating.
Okay. This is a revision report from the House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal. So, the contestant here, the protestant is Congressman Villapuerte. The protestee is Congressman Poblado. So, ang process dito is that they will get Ipat ka doon muna, Maricor, kay Chairman. Pinapalipat ka ni Chairman. So the process is, alam naman to ni Chairman because he was Chairman of the COMELEC. Protested ballots are brought to the tribunal. And then, tinitingnan yung integrity ng ballots kung hindi ba nagalaw. So in this case, sa COMELEC, meron silang metal seal, meron silang plastic seals. So pagkatapos ng bubuksan, bibilangin uli. So ito yung revision report. Please press. Please press. Take note that the revision report is certified true copy from the House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal. Next slide. So ito yung first page ng revision report. Metal number 1, metal lock, nandyan. Pilot ka na lang. Metal lock number 1, ito po yung serial number. Plastic seals number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, nandyan din. And then ang nakalagay, properly attached and locked. Thus, the integrity of the ballots were maintained. Next slide. Tapos ito na yung data from the election return for local positions. Pag sinum up mo yung boto ni protestant, ni protestee, at ni other candidates, it's only 562. However, the valid ballots counted is 598.
So the discrepancy is...
So hindi siya nagtugma. That's the first clue. Sige, next slide. Okay ha, ito. Ballots per protestant. Per the ER yan ha, ER yan. 115, 403, 44. 562. But the valid ballots counted by the machine is 598. So meron siyang difference na 36. The problem with this, 5 lang ang stray ballots dyan. So galing saan yung 36 na difference? Next slide.
Galing na saan?
Next slide. Okay,
What
ito na.
was the total vote?
The total votes would have been, balik muna. Kasi nagtanong si Chairman, anong total?
Pwede ba daw ba naging null vote yun, attorney?
Pwede bang null vote?
It's for Comelec to answer. I will not answer that. It's for them.
Oh, really? How many
Yes.
votes? Civilian
Sige.
vote?
598, may 36 na pinag-iba.
That's not the total number of votes in this congressman, for congressman, correct?
Yes, for Congressman.
So what is the total vote of Villafuerte? For
Sige, dito na tayo. Tanong si Chairman, ilan ang boto na binabate? Sige, tama na yan. Hello? Tama na yan. Pero na ER to, sir, ha? Yung ER dito sa ibabaw, hindi ko na nakita, hindi na makita. Votes per protestant, 115. And then, votes per protestant per the ER.
what's the total the total number of votes in
this precinct?
congressional seat?
563 in this precinct.
No, I'm not talking about precinct. I'm talking about who won that seat.
Si Bordado.
Huh?
Si Bordado.
By what?
Natalo siya.
Anong vote?
Ang talo lang ang natandaan ko, sir, 21,000 votes.
21,000.
Yes.
Si Villafuerte had how many votes?
Villafuerte had 21,000 less votes than Bordado. Kasi ang presumptive margin is 21,000.
21,000 less votes?
Yes, kasi ang presumptive margin.
Natalo siya sa 21,000 votes.
Oo. Yun yung talo niya.
Panalo, 21,000 then.
Yes.
So how much is the difference?
Yun nga po, 21,000.
21,000,
Ang
sir.
yung point dito, kung na-correct mo yan, natalo pa rin ba yung kandidato?
Clarify muna natin si Chairman. Si Villafuerte, sir, natalo ng 21,000.
Hindi natalo. What was the vote of Villafuerte and what was the vote of his opponent?
Okay. Sige. Go to summary. Nandun sa summary, sir. Wala dyan. It's in the summary.
Prepare si attorney.
Ibang ano. Yeah, it's in the summary. Yeah, I'm prepared.
Tama naman, we're just trying to bring out the truth of everything.
Yeah, sige. Press. Yan, sir. In the town of Calabanga, 3 munisipyo to, sir. Calabanga, Bombon, Canacman. Villafuerte, 24,000 per the votes of the ER, per the votes of the HRET, 11,000 lang ang nasa election return. Ang binawas, 13,217 votes. In 99 machines.
Sino responsable sa election returns?
E di sino ba? E di ang nagpatakbo ng makina, si Smartmatic.
So nabawasan.
Nabawasan, sir. Ito
Nabawasan
yan.
si Villafuerte.
Yes, 13,000.
Ilan ng 13,000?
13,236
Sa isang
votes.
lugar.
Yung kalaban niya, ilang boss?
Nadagdagan ng 7,736.
Nadagdagan.
Yes, sir.
So, if those were not reduced,
Ito ang panalo ni Villafuerte
Villafuerte would have won.
by 776 votes.
Kung hindi nagkaroon ng palitan.
Hindi, yes. This is a clear example na na-flip talaga yung resulta ng eleksyon.
So Villafuerte lost that seat.
Yes, he lost it. The problem, sir, is namatay siya bago ang balota na dala na sa HRET.
Did he go protest?
Yes, this is an election protest, sir.
So what happened to the decisions?
The ballots were
So was he declared winner or not?
He died before this was completed. So it was dismissed on
I
the
think he's the
ground.
old Louis Villafuerte.
Yes, the old man.
My classmate.
The old man. Yes. He died before this were open. So ang ginawa ng HRET, sir, nag-file actually ang anak ng motion to continue with the revision.
Yes. What happened?
Grinad ng HRET, pinabayag siya ng additional 1 million.
Oh, tapos?
Siyempre, bumayad siya. On December 15 to 20, binuksan yung balota. By January, dinismiss. No standing to sue.
So, she really won.
They never really won. And this is the smoking gun. Kaya nga sabi ko, 99 machines to eh. Let's go back to...
Okay, so how
Smoking
was
gun
the
number
fraud? What fraud was, where was the fraud done? And how was it done?
Sir, the fraud should be in the generation of the election results file. In the counting of the votes when the teacher presses it.
So,
Count the votes.
linawin ko lang, so everybody can understand. Walang problema sa pinasok, walang problema sa resibo.
As far as
The process is concerned.
the
Kasi
final
process
testing
tayo.
and sealing in Butuan appears to be, yes.
Okay, now, the result of this, right? And then when you do the other side, that's the thing that doesn't match.
When you look at the election return,
It's
hindi siya
not the same.
tumalo sa balota. That's what they did in the spring. Hinanap nila yung test ballot number 9. Ang binoto doon si Ching Plaza for mayor,
And
plus 9 councilors. Nung tinignan nila sa screen ng election return, nasaan ang ballot number 9, ang lumabas sila ang Fortune plus 12 councilors.
saan nagaganap yung change na yun?
It's in the generation of the election results.
At sino may hawak ng generation of results file?
Ay, wala namang, huwag mong i-blame ang teacher. The teacher would just simply press
Yeah,
it.
we're just trying to find out.
I'm not blaming them.
Yeah, we're trying to find out.
It's embedded in the system.
So it's embedded in the software.
Yes, of course.
So now we have a problem with the software.
And that's why we are proposing, kung ito naman lang ang mangyayari, bilangin natin yung QR code sa resibo.
So,
Ito yun.
may magandang tanong
Ito
si
ang
Chairman
bilangin
kanina
natin.
eh. Cardi, may magandang, I just want to build on what you said. So, do we all honestly believe that automating is the answer? Or can we go to the manual way again?
Yung huwag naman manual.
Or the hybrid.
The hybrid, I would go for
We
that.
would like to hear from Ma'am Cora from NAMFRED.
I will agree that for the past elections, COMELEC outsourced elections to Smartmatic. But today, we've been part of the whole process.
You've been part?
Yes, NAMFREL and PPCRB.
Okay.
We've been part in the whole process in the review of even the machines in the US, the certification of the machines of Miru, in the source code review, and we've seen that COMELEC personnel know elections.
And you were in Korea.
No, in US.
US.
Yeah. In the ICE laboratory test.
We had a good question to start with. Do you see any possible complications in this upcoming election? Technically?
Well, this is still a black box, okay?
Okay.
But from our review, and there is no more intermediary server. All results,
No more intermediary
No more.
server. No more
That's-
meeting room.
no more.
No more we meet room.
No more.
Meeting room.
No more.
Bakit no more?
Diretso na sa PPCRB, diretso na sa Municipal Center,
Kaya ganun ka-confident.
and diretso na sa NAMFREL, diretso na sa partido.
So, kaya ganun ka-confident ng PPCRB that they are part of the entire process. So, it's not friend.
Yes, yes. And,
Mark.
you know, I was asked, by the way, by James Jimenez in one seminar, bakit noon kayo, he was referring to me, parati kami ninyong kine-question. Bakit ngayon hindi? Eh sabi ko, kasi nakikinig sila sa amin ngayon eh. Okay? So, we are part of the whole process. Di ba, no, Arvin? Yeah. So,
Let me answer the point of Maricol. Ang sabi mo, direkta na yung transmission, wala na may pero. Precisely, because the cheating is already in the ER. Hindi nila kailangan ng meet me room.
That remains to be proven as well.
you have to prove it. You have to show us.
Yun lang nga, ang test ballot number 9 and test ballot number 10 in Butuan on May 6.
This is your test a few weeks ago.
May 6.
May 6 po. Balikan po
May 6.
daw ninyo, ha?
Yeah.
May 6. Bigay natin yung detalye.
We're talking about what happened 210 and 222 and the solutions that NAMFREL and PPCRB participated in order to cover any possible source of fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yes, sir.
Alright.
Alright, now, in the interest of time, just real quick,
I'll just show this, ha?
One last one. Go
Ito
ahead.
yung specific...
Ito yung dagdag bawas mo.
Yes,
Sige.
ito yung specific example ng precinct. Kasi kanina...
Ayan. At ikaw, ma-record. Tignan daw natin, sabi niya.
Vote for Protestant per the ER, ha? ER yan.
Election returns.
Yes, 115. The ballots with Protestant vote is 379. Malinaw naman yan.
Only.
Number of ballots for Protestant, 379. Ang sabi naman nila, 115 lang. Ang binawas, 264.
May points si Dr. Arvin kanina, attorney, sandali lang.
Sige, wait.
Ah,
No, 2019 to. Test case to. And then vote for protestee, 403. The ballots for protestee is only 180. So hindi mai-explain yan ng ano, 180 lang yung balota.
Attorney,
Yes.
meron din tayong human intervention kasi dito. No? Yung sulat na yan kasi hindi machine yan eh. Tao nagsulat yan, di ba?
Okay.
Tama ba ako, Dr. Arvin?
Yes, President.
So, posible ba na yung nagsulat din yan, posibleng siya yung nagbago niyan?
Sir, hindi pwede. Tingnan ninyo yung certification sa report. We hereby certify that the data written and conclusions reached in this revision report are true and correct. And nandyan yung Protestants revisor, Protestants revisor, head revisor ng HRET, and then yung revision report appraiser ng HRET. Mga tao din ng House of Representatives Electoral Tribunal.
Yun.
And yes, House certified true copy.
Attorney, thank you so much for sharing with us and revealing to us this. Right now, we're going to entertain some questions from the media, from UNTV and other media sources. Go ahead. Please tell us your name at kanina mo din direct yung question mo.
Ivan Alvarez from UNTV. Question for Namfred and PCC here.
Yun, Namfred.
Considering po that we are confident of COMELEC preparations, that it also translates that we are confident that there will be less electoral manipulation or vote rigging that will happen this Monday?
Yes, from what I have stated earlier, sumali naman kami doon sa mga different phases and stages of COMELEC's preparation for this 2025 midterm election. Not only with regards to the technical aspects, but more so with regards to the inspection and also different testing and also various coordination meetings. So far, mas improve version itong leadership ni Chairman Garcia as compared to before, as I have been also active nung araw pa. Kaya, at hindi rin natin itong may i-compare doon sa manual election during the time of Chairman Monson, no? Kasi ibang-iba talaga yun. But be that as may, tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman yung aming pagiging observant and aming din pagpuna. And ang maganda nga nito, we will also consolidate all of the things that kasi I'm sure there will be a lot of rooms for improvement pa rin, and also a lot of things that we could also recommend para madala natin yan doon sa 2028 preparations. Kaya nga, ito, welcome din sa amin itong mga ganitong mga forum kasi nga, somehow, nakaka-remind din sa amin ito na dapat nagkahanap din tayo ng mga possible improvements along the way. Yes.
Unlike in the past, yung talagang, as I was saying, elections and the counting of election results were all done by Smartmatic. In-outsource ng COMELEC sa Smartmatic. So, COMELEC personnel were not really aware. When we would ask questions in the Senate hearing and in the congressional hearings, the only ones who will answer will be the executive director, but he will be asking Smartmatic for the answer. Hindi nila alam kung ano yung proseso. Ngayon, lahat ng personnel ng COMELEC have been trained. Sila mismo, alam nila. So, pag may dayaan dyan, malalaman din nila. Okay? Because they were involved in the whole process. Now. Ngayon, ang aming, and then sinabi nga ni James Jimenez, bakit noon, nagkita kami sa isang forum, bakit noon parating yung kaming binabatikos? Sabi ko, kasi ngayon hindi kayo, tahimik kayo? Sabi ko, kasi nakikinig sila sa amin ngayon. Actually, the QR code, the insertion of the QR code was suggested by NAMFREL. And we do have a software to help our volunteers scan the QR code and come out with a tally.
And document it.
And document it. So, we do have geographic analysis going to be done at the Asia Pacific Center. And then we have in our operations center as well. We have borrowed machines from SCI, and Multifold Link will be connecting this to a network. And you are all welcome to come to our operations center at the DMG Center in Mandaluyong.
So the operation is inviting everyone to view it, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Just for the record, can we say that this will be the most transparent election up to date?
Yes.
I agree with that. I think NAMFREL and PPCRB have done their job, and also LENDE. Because LENDE is going to be involved in the random manual audit,
Yes.
which is a way of looking back and say what possibly happened. You don't just get to 1% and say, wow, the whole thing is fraud.
Yeah.
You cannot.
We are actually, this is a test for 2028.
This is a preparation for
That's for
2028.
2028. But
Yes.
for 2025, I am happy at the safeguards that PCRB and NAMFREL have been a part.
Yes, yes.
And I think COMELEC should be praised for that. That COMELEC, that NAMFREL, PCRB, and LENDE
Yes.
are part of the system
Yes.
to correct or save and put more safeguards in the process.
Yes. We are thankful.
Pastor,
Yeah.
let me add lang. Me personally, given my experience, I don't trust the COMELEC with due difference and respect to Chairman Monson. Ang hinihingi namin sa COMELEC is that the voter receipt QR code must be independently verified. Hindi pwedeng si COMELEC ang mag-self-audit. Self-audit mechanisms are not...
Which NAMFREL now has addressed together with
We are
PPCRB.
addressing that.
60 precincts lang, di ba?
Yes.
Out of
Because we
93,000.
do not have the volunteers, the number, the volume
The
of
capacity.
volunteers, to do it. So we know our limitations, no? But we will try to do it now in preparation for 2028, where we can probably crowdsource.
Yes.
And people
And
will
achieve the
know
total
what to do.
numbers.
Yes.
That it does not address the concern.
Yes.
Because it's only 60 out of 93,000. 110,000 sabi, di ba? Doc,
I don't know what
more than
survey you don't know.
94,000. 94,000. 60 out of 94,000. Do not give you statistical confidence.
Yes.
Yes. Madagdag ko lang, no? Ma-record, wala pa kanina, nung sinabanggit ko na sabi ko, natutuwa nga ako. Kasi nga, hindi man namin ma-cover 100% lahat ng mga presinto. Pero nandiyan yung NAMFREL at saka yung LENDE. Maganda nga rin yung naisip na ng NAMFREL na na makipag-network with other CSOs, with other NGOs, with other groups, no? Even schools, no? For that matter, para sa gayon, mas marami, mas mapalakas pa natin, hindi, siyempre, natutuwa yung mga katulad ni Atty. Glenchong, no, na talagang tinututukan talaga natin ng
Yes, yes.
May I just ask, how many volunteers do you have today?
Kami po.
PPCRB.
Yes. Meron na po kami mga may kumulang mga 350,000 based doon sa mga pag-add namin doon sa mga dioceses. At alam ko kulang pa rin ho talaga yun.
Kulang yun. Yes. Yun. NAMFREL, how many?
Mahirap, hindi ko nakita yung statistics. Ayoko magsabi ng mali. Pero we're still recruiting. There are several areas where we don't have volunteers. We don't have supervisors. But we do have volunteers from the schools. Okay? Pero it's hard.
How about LENDE?
So dahil targeted and systematic monitoring natin, we'll be deploying 1,200 volunteers in probably 60 out of the 80 provinces in the Philippines.
And you will have volunteers in the random manual audit 6, right? Okay, in 1986, we organized 500,000 volunteers in 4 months.
Through the help of our churches.
Through the help of the church.
Yes. So maybe we can attempt that again. We have another question coming in from the media before we conclude.
Good morning, sirs and ma'am. Edgar Torosa from DZRH. Pinag-usapan din niya during the intro, lalo na kay Chairman, na when we look at the election, we should try to look at two perspectives. Number one is yung quality ng apparatus and then the quality of votes. Doon ako, sir, ma'am, sa quality of votes. Some are saying the security sector, a senator, and even the COMELEC is implying na baka may makinarya na gumagalaw such as producing fake news. Others are weighing baka may foreign interference dito sa election na ito. We seem confident doon sa gagamitin sistema, pero anong epekto nito possibly doon sa bidding boto resulta ng halalan, and are we ready? Ito sa, well, siguro fake news, disinformation as information, or sa mas mataas na gravitas, foreign interference sa election.
Who are you directing the question to? Chairman.
I think we should ask the people who are protecting the ballot to answer.
Begin with the lente.
Sa usapin ng disinformation, mahalaga lagi na nadi-debunk right away ang disinformation. At nakikita naman natin na si COMELEC, actually magandang communication message ni COMELEC yun. For the past few days, nakita nyo, nag-debunk sila ng bawal yung hindi required ang ID. Hindi sila naghahanap ng 4,000 watchers. So it's imperative when it comes to the problem of disinformation, na the disinformation is addressed right away to remove somehow yung virality ng information. Pero babalik doon sa ginagawa. So, patuloy lang na monitoring ng mga online spaces. And kapag may nakita ng misinformation or disinformation, they back it right away, report it to the online platform. So, example, it's outing or red tagging, it's a red tagging post, then you report it to Meta para ma-take down yung mga ganun na po. So, immediate action ang kailangan. Pero, katulad nga ng vote buying, it's a symptom of a bigger problem in Philippine society, not only in election. So, it's a problem na dapat ang daming approaches, whole of nation approach talaga, at hindi lang pang election yung solution na tinitignan.
Alright,
Pagdating sa fake news, meron tayong democracy, di ba? Sabi natin, freedom of speech. You can give you whatever sentiments you want. It's up to the voter to be discerning. And siyang titingin kung tama yung sinasabi o mali. At pwede naman i-counter check yun with other blogs as well. That's what social media is for. Now, if you're talking about foreign influence, I doubt. Wala kaming nakikita nun. Talagang, ang talagang nag-aano ngayon dito are camps ng political camps talaga na we're against political dynasties, but what can we do? They have the means and the resources.
Yes.
Sa part po naman namin, talagang aware kami na talagang ginagamit na talaga ng gusto yung ating social media. At nakita din namin yan sa mga nakarang eleksyon with regards to disinformation campaigns. At titignan din namin yung mga possibilities na aside from answering all those disinformation and mga fake news, magkaroon na rin dapat tayo din ng pagtingin kung ano ba yung best approach natin para hindi lalong lumakas itong mga itong mga forces na ito na that ang motive nila talaga ay sirain or diskaralin yung ating gagawing halalan. So, but sa ngayon, ang ginagawa namin, sinasagot-sagot namin itong mga parang nagiging reactionary lang kami. Inaamin namin yun.
Can I just add? I am a member of the board of MAD, Movement Against Disinformation. And we are working with the National Union of Journalists precisely to look into the use of media, of disinformation. And in the case of government, lack of information. You know, the other side of disinformation is the government doesn't want to release data and invoking the privacy law. Right? So we're also addressing that. But we are working with the journalists on this problem of disinformation.
So laban sa vote buying, laban sa dayaan, laban sa disinformation o misinformation, ang inyong mga watchdogs po, katulad ng Lente, PPCRB, maging ang NAMFREL, ay tumututok. There's no perfect government, there's no perfect system, but there is progress. At yan po yung pinanghahawakan natin na sa darating na eleksyon na to, gawin pa rin ng mga botante ang dapat nilang gawin. They're responsible for their vote as the watchdogs will be accountable for their actions. Ako po si Pastor Gary, sa ngalan po ni Attorney Fred Bison. Ito po ang The Agenda.
Vote against.
As we close, can we close with a...
Hindi natin like that.
Vote against political dynasty.
Wait, can we close? Can we close with a brief prayer? Thank you, Pastor.
Yes.
Can we close with a brief prayer? As we bow our heads in Father, we come before the presence of God, our Creator, our Lord, our King. Thank you, Father. Thank you, Father, for this enlightening discussion on issues affecting the integrity and truthfulness of the upcoming elections this month. Today, Father, we beseech you, in Jesus' name, we beseech you for your loving and powerful intervention for our people against various forms of electoral fraud. Make us exercise, or make this nation exercise its right to vote for its genuine love of country. Through our conscience, through our moral conscience, Father, that you have ordained as part of our soul. Stand in the gap, Father. Stand in the gap, Father, today and for the days to come, for truth, honesty, and courage to reign in every heart as a crucial event in our history thus approaches. Only in your name, Jesus, in your loving and powerful and precious name. Jesus, amen and amen.
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 Thank you so much. May I just add? Address the media. Please do not get involved, or please do not practice self-censorship out of fear or favor.
Self-censorship. Doc, thank you so much. Attorney, thank you so much. Pastor Gary po. Thank you po, thank you po. Thank you po, nakarating kayo. Record.
Sabi sa akin, makikinig yun.
Ay, hindi ko kayo papaya. Pa-picture lang po tayo sa tele. One picture lang tayo, Missioner. Especially Commissioner, thank you po for joining us today.
Sanay Center Nicholas.
May part 2 pa ho to. Pagtapos ng election, magkikita-kita naman din tayo.
Punta rin kayo sa aming
Alright.
operation center.
Ayun, opo. Smile. Thumbs up. Isa pa po, para sa press.
Meron. Paano kung tingnan sa akin sa...
Alright, thank you so much. You can have your, kung may mag-i-serve yung pasal nila. Careful.
Pag naginig sa mga...
Ay, tama po yun. We love it. We love it.